In the quaint village of San Felipe, nestled amidst the lush jungles and rolling hills of central Luzon, a young man named Tano was the subject of scorn and ridicule. Once the son of a humble farmer, Tano's life took a tragic turn when a devastating typhoon claimed both his parents and their livelihood when he was just 10 years old. With no family to turn to, he roamed the streets of San Felipe as a beggar, surviving on scraps and the occasional act of kindness. But kindness was rare. To the superstitious villagers, Tano was an unlucky omen, a bringer of misfortune. His pleas for help were often met with harsh words, cold shoulders, or even outright cruelty. He was shunned and mocked, labeled as a pariah in the very community that had once embraced his family. Finding no solace among people, Tano turned to the natural world for companionship. The rustling leaves, singing birds, and babbling brooks became his family, and the dense jungle surrounding the village his sanctuary. In 1942, San Felipe's quiet existence was shattered. Japanese forces descended upon the village, armed with rifles and bayonets, their presence marked by fear and violence. The soldiers seized rice stores and livestock, commandeered homes, and imposed strict rules on the villagers. Resistance was met with swift and brutal punishment. The once vibrant community fell silent under the weight of oppression. Fear hung heavy in the air, and even the bravest among them dared not defy the occupiers. Though he lived on the outskirts of the village, Tano saw everything. From the shadows of the jungle, he witnessed the confiscation of food, the burning of homes, and the tears of his fellow villagers. Despite their mistreatment of him, Tano felt their suffering deeply. It was his suffering, too. Tano knew that the villagers would never accept him as their savior. They would scoff at the mere suggestion that the outcast beggar could do anything to change their fate. But their disdain didn't matter to him. What mattered was that they were his people, and San Felipe was his home. Determined to help, Tano formulated a daring plan. He had overheard stories of an American military presence further north in Luzon. If he could reach them and convince them to aid the village, there might still be hope. It was a perilous idea. The journey would span over 200 miles through dense jungles, treacherous rivers, and enemy-patrolled areas. But Tano had nothing to lose and everything to fight for. Tano set out under the cover of darkness, armed only with his knowledge of the jungle and an unyielding determination. The journey tested him in every way imaginable. He traversed rocky rivers, climbed steep hills, and evaded Japanese patrols with cunning and agility. Nights were spent hiding among the thick foliage, and days were reserved for carefully planned movements. Hunger and exhaustion became his constant companions, but Tano pressed on. His resilience grew with every step, and the jungle, which had always been his refuge, now became his ally. He followed animal trails, drank from natural springs, and used his keen observation skills to avoid danger. After weeks of arduous travel, Tano stumbled upon an American military outpost. Exhausted and battered, he approached the camp with trembling legs and an unwavering gaze. The soldiers, skeptical of the disheveled young man, listened as Tano pleaded his case. "Please," he implored, his voice hoarse from days of shouting in the wilderness. "My village is suffering. The Japanese have taken everything. You must help us." Moved by his desperation and conviction, the commanding officer, Colonel Anderson, agreed to listen. Tano's intimate knowledge of the area and the enemy's movements proved invaluable. A plan was devised to liberate San Felipe, with Tano leading the way as their guide. Under the cloak of night, Tano led a combined force of American soldiers and Filipino guerrillas through the jungle paths he knew so well. His sharp instincts and intimate understanding of the terrain allowed them to avoid detection and gain the element of surprise. The battle that ensued in San Felipe was fierce. Tano fought alongside the villagers and allied forces, wielding a wooden spear and inspiring others with his courage. The Japanese occupiers, caught off guard, were quickly overwhelmed. By dawn, the village was free. When the dust settled, the people of San Felipe gathered in the village square. For the first time, they looked at Tano not with scorn, but with gratitude and awe. The boy they had once ridiculed and cast aside had become their savior. The village elders honored him with a ceremonial necklace, a symbol of their newfound respect. Though Tano remained humble, his deeds became the stuff of legend, whispered around cooking fires and sung in the fields. San Felipe began to rebuild, its people united by a shared struggle and inspired by the bravery of an outcast who refused to give up on them. Tano's story spread far beyond San Felipe, reaching other villages and towns across Luzon. To many, he became a symbol of hope and resilience, a reminder that even the most downtrodden among us have the power to change the world. For the rest of his days, Tano lived simply, working alongside the villagers to ensure that San Felipe would never again fall to despair. And though he never sought recognition, his name was etched into the history of the land as a hero who rose from the shadows to lead his people to freedom. Finally, have you ever wished of traveling the world and make money at the same time, without ever creating your own products or websites? Then let me show you how to set up your own online business empire to make $1,000 a day, and how you can get started right now. Click the link below for more info. If you love this type of videos, please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video with your friends. Then hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of our future videos. Thank you.